Afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for a deadline stream on this Saturday afternoon. It is a later deadline than usual. How you doing, Jordan? How's your
Yeah,
weekend going so far?
yeah, it's going good. Weekend's finally here. There's a lot of football, not just Premier League, so it's going to be a very enjoyable week in terms of obviously a lot of
Mhm.
games going on, but in terms of Premier League, it's very quiet. The only few matches available.
Yeah, as we know, there is FA Cup weekend, so there's a lot of blanks. It is a blank game week, and we're going to get into our teams, what it looks like, and yeah, just discuss it as well. Just let me zoom in for you guys a bit. Hopefully, you can see that. So yeah, as you guys know, I've done one move already. I took out Saka and bought in Madison for free. I'm also bringing in Tony, as you guys know as well from my team selection video. I am going to take a -4. Currently, I'm lining up. As you can see on the screen, I've got Ariola in goal. I've got a back three of Porro, Doughty, and Taylor. I've got a midfield four currently of Barkley, Douglas Luiz, Son, and Madison, with Son my captain. And then I've got a front three of Watkins, Solanke, who's going to go out for Tony, and then Morris as well. And that gives me 11 playing players for Blank Gameweek 29 with a -4. So yeah, that's all to hand. Jordan, obviously we know you're on a free hit. I'll bring your team up. Any changes since the team selection?
No, not really. It's all stayed the same. Flecken in goal, back three of Doggy, Doughty, and Regulon, who is currently flagged but should start in that Burnley game on Sunday, I believe. Midfield four, Son, Madison, Elanga, and Bowen, and the front three of Muniz, Tony, Watkins. Tony is the captain for me, and the vice is on Son. And on the bench, we've got Kaminsky, Douglas Luiz, Robertson, and Zuma in case of any issues in the starting 11.
Brilliant. So yeah, both of us, it looks like we've got our plans sorted. You're pretty locked in on your free hit draft. I'm pretty certain I'm going to be bringing Tony in. Miles to do that transfer any moment now. I'm waiting for any team news. I don't think we'll get any. So I'm probably go ahead and going to do the move. But yeah, if you guys are joining in, make sure you do smash the like button, guys, and also make sure you are subscribed if you are watching it live or on a playback. But yeah, only the 4 fixtures this game week. So it's not a. I mean, what do you think of this blank game week 9? Sorry, blank game week 29. Do you expect it to be a good game week for free hitters, or do you think someone like myself who's not free hitting, how do you see it going?
I mean, it's not the best free hit game week, I would say, because of how many fixtures there are and what teams there are available for it. There is a lot of clashes. I mean, a lot of us aren't expecting clean sheets this week because we expect the attackers like Son against Fulham, for example, and Barkley against Nottingham Forest. I don't see clean sheets in any of those fixtures. So it's mostly the midfield and forward I think we're looking at in terms of getting something out of this game week. But it's going different, which is the hard thing, because a lot of us will have the exact same players in these teams and maybe one or two differences aside that. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much direction you can go in other than maybe taking a punt on a player that's really low owned. But otherwise, it all depends on, I would say, the captaincy, I think, because a lot of us are going to go captain Son, and that's where I want to go different because I've gone with Tony. So I'm hoping Tony can outscore Son, and that way it's just slightly different in terms of maybe there's more rank gain towards that move.
Okay, interesting. But yeah, as we were saying, obviously, free hit. A lot of people are free hit. And let us know in the chat, guys. Are you on a free hit, or are you, taking transfers like me, taking hits? Anyone? Let us know what your plans are. But I'm probably going to do my move already because there's no point really waiting. I don't see the point, even if Watkins doesn't play. What? Okay, it's logged me out for some reason. All right, Jordan, I'll put your team up. Let me log back in.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, there was a few scares over Watkins over his issue with Ajax, but I don't think that's something to worry about. It was only, as Emery said, a cut, a very deep cut, but he isn't. Should start on that Sunday fixture against West Ham away. But yeah, I think all is well with Watkins. I think it doesn't really matter much if you're free hitting, as long as you have cover, and there's a lot of money for that bench cover anyway. So I think it's mostly for those who aren't free hitting that maybe there's some doubt, but it should be fine.
Yeah, so switching back over to my team, as you guys know, early on this week, I did Maddison in for Saka. I should have actually done the Tony move because I didn't realize Tony also rose in price. I think yesterday or the day before. So I'm going to take a -4 to bring in Tony. So let me just go ahead and do that. So Solanke's coming out my team, who's got blank this week. Leaves me with 24 million in the bank, which is the most I've ever had probably. So bringing Tony in, that leaves me with 16.5 million. And that enables me to do Barkley to Mo Salah for Game Week 30. So I'm just going to make my transfer. So Solanke out, Tony in for a -4. Confirm. There we go. That's all done. Vice captaincy, I've got it on Morris. I'll probably play it on Tony. And then, yeah, I think the rest of the team looks pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. As I said, I've got the triple Tottenham. I've got double Aston Villa with Douglas Luiz and Watkins. I've got triple Luton, which I'm not massively, keen about because I think Forest will score a couple of goals against them, but it should be a entertaining game, and hopefully Morris can repay me because I think a lot of managers have, or a lot of free hitters, I should say, don't have Morris in the team. A lot of people have gone with Watkins, Tony. I've seen Muniz in there, and I've also seen other strikers like Wissel and the double up. So I'm hoping Morris can repay the faith. Bringing him in for the blank, it didn't really work out, but this week he's got Forest at home, and hopefully he can get something. Barkley, we know he scored last game week, so I'm happy to see, what he does against Forest. Son and Maddison, I think, are a shoo-in. You have to have them in a wild card. I think both of them. Obviously, Porro, Udogie, take your pick. Doughty's going to be in most drafts. I've got Taylor as well. I don't expect much from him. Brentford at home probably will concede, but this is not a free hit team, so I think I'm well positioned. Obviously, I've got nothing on the bench, so if Watkins does miss out, then I'll have 10 playing players. So it's one of those, but we'll have to see what Watkins does if he's fit for that game. But I think he should be.
Yeah, I don't suppose it matters much because Watkins is pretty template. Most of us own him anyway, so even with his points that we get from him, unless you're captaining him, it's not really worth really worrying about if Watkins will start or not for this game week.
Elika says, evening lads, wildcarded last week, but made the mistake of not having 11 players for 29. Would you guys say it's worth to take a -4 or more to get a full 11? Depends how many playing players you have, and depends who you don't have. I say the must-haves, you got to have Son, you got to have Maddison. I think you want Watkins if he's fit. I think you'd want Tony as well. There's certain players, I think you don't have to take a -4 to get in someone like Taylor, in my opinion. Even a Morris might not be essential. It depends what the players are and the ones that you aren't willing to go without. I'm going without Bowen, personally. I know Bowen's very, very popular on the free hit draft, so he could punish me. So it depends on what players. If you've got 10 players, I mean, that should be fine, isn't it, Jordan? You reckon?
Yeah, as long as you've got the essential ones like Son, Watkins, Tony, Morris, even. And these players are mostly ones that most teams have. So I assume in those 10 players, you've got most of these anyway. So that, I don't think it matters that you have 11 for this week, Adika, as long as you've got those main ones in there and a few differentials.
Yeah, I definitely recommend having, at least 9-10 players.
Yeah.
And then you should be fine as long as you've got the big hitters like the Watkins, Son, etc.
Yeah, because not everyone's going to have a full 11 going into this week, especially for non-free hitters. They might have us 10, like you, Edeka, in your position, maybe 8 even. I've seen someone the last stream say they had 8 starting players only.
Yeah, 8's probably the absolute bare minimum you'd want. And even then, it's a bit risky. You got to make sure you have a decent team. Moving back over your team. Obviously, you've gone with Bowen as well. Bowen seemed like a very popular pick. Have you been tempted with Kudus over Bowen? Any other West Ham asset? 'Cause obviously Kudus had a really well. He done really well in the Europa League. Scored a lovely goal. Have you been tempted by Kudus or?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I thought I might as well go for Bowen instead. But again, I'm not really keen on the Aston Villa and West Ham game because I feel
Yeah.
like it's going to be a low scoring one. I don't think it's going to be that many goals involved in that. You could even go without Watkins, even though that could be dangerous. But Bowen and Watkins, because they clash together and that fixture is really tough, I have been tempted to go without both of them and go for some two other players that are less owned. But
Yeah.
it's risky.
Yeah, I've left out Bowen. I mean, I'm expecting Aston Villa to win that game if Watkins is fit, but we'll have to see. Because obviously Bowen and etc. did play on the Europa League midweek. Dara, thoughts on taking a -8 to field 11 players, bringing in Tony Madison and Son captain. So if all play, the hit will be for free. Yeah, that's not bad, a -8, especially if you can bring in Tony Madison and Son. I don't hate it, and if the rest of your team is fine, I think -8 is okay. Because I took a -8 last week to build up for this week, and it paid off. So it could pay off. Obviously, you'll have to weigh it up in terms of the hit, but it depends when you're going to be using your free hit. I don't think there's a point saving your free hit if you need it. But yeah, I don't hate a -8 because I did it myself last week. I'm just worried that most people are free hitting, so I'm going up against people who have a full 11 as compared to my situation. Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, you've got 10. You could bring in 11. But who would you be bringing in, though? Let us know.
Yeah.
Who would the -4 be for?
Yeah, because that's if it's for like someone like Son, then if you're captaining him as well, then yeah, it's worth it in that sense. For example, like that. But if it's a player like Huss mentioned, if it's for like a Taylor, then it's not really worth it because you're not going to captain him. He's probably not going to keep a clean sheet, and it's probably not really worth the -4. So you might as well have a 10 fielding instead of 11. So it all depends what player it is that you bring in for that hit.
Definitely. But yeah, like when are the kickoffs today? Actually, I don't even know when. I'm gonna have a look at the fixtures. So we've got 3 games today. Burnley, Brentford at 3 o'clock, Luton and Forest at 3 o'clock. But Fulham and Spurs are 5:30, and then on Sunday we've got the one fixture, West Ham v Villa. And obviously we've got the FA Cup games as well. Definitely be watching some of the FA Cup games. Liverpool playing Man United tomorrow. That should be a big one.
The horror.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's no FA Cup games today, is there? Oh yeah, my bad, there is.
There is.
Wolves and Coventry are playing right now. And it's 0-0, half an hour in. Man City got Newcastle at 5:30, which should be a good game. And then tomorrow, obviously, we've got. Let's have a look. What FA Cup games are? Tomorrow we've got Chelsea v Leicester, and we've got Man United Liverpool at 3:30 as well. So pretty decent week of football, especially in the FA Cup. Some good teams playing against each other.
Yeah, it's a good, obviously FA Cup because a lot of the British teams in the Premier League are still in it, and well, there's not many in this game week. But yeah, it's pretty exciting, I guess, for those whose team is still in it. I mean, I'm surprised Man United are still in the quarterfinals. Or are going to be playing Liverpool in the quarterfinals. Never thought they would get that far, considering the way they play. But that's probably as far as they're going to get in that competition. I don't have confidence for that Liverpool game.
Yeah, we'll take a look, or we'll sure we'll discuss it on Sunday after the stream. Well, we are back again, guys, for a stream on Sunday evening. So make sure you do tune in. We'll react to Game Week 29 as well and see if the free hit pays off. Even me, who's not on a free hit, for example. Fatality, rate my free hit. Areola, Udogi, Porro, Regulon, Gibbs White, Bowen, Kudu, Son, Captain, Tony, Wood, and Wissa. What do you think of this team?
Yeah, I like it because you haven't included the main player, and that's Watkins. And I have been tempted at doing that on my free hit of not having Watkins in there and having a different forward because you've got Wood and Wissa alongside Tony, and I think they're 2 good differentials in comparison to Watkins' fixture against West Ham away. Which, again, I'm not sold on it. My gut's telling me Watkins is potentially going to have a blank or not really get much in that game. But yeah, I like the rest of the team. I mean, your goalkeeper is probably the only one that I think maybe you could get another player, a goalkeeper instead. Maybe a Fulham goalkeeper or possibly the Brentford goalkeeper Flecken, even though Brentford's defence isn't great, but it's because of the nice fixture then that I would be tempted at Flecken.
Okay. Yeah, obviously Flecken's got a decent fixture, Burnley away. I do prefer Flecken to Areola this week. Obviously, I've got Areola because he's my normal goalkeeper. But if I was on a free hit, I probably would go Flecken. But you've already got triple Brentford, haven't you? That's why.
Oh yes, yeah.
If triple
Yeah.
Brentford, Areola is probably the next best bet, I think.
Yeah. I think you got Wood and Wissa though. I think I would go without Wissa and keep Wood for Nottingham Forest, but I think I'll change Wissa to someone else, maybe a Muniz. I would be tempted at that, and then maybe have Flecken as your goalkeeper and make the triple at Brentford that way. Have double defense for Brentford, even though it's crazy. It's Brentford don't keep many clean sheets, but maybe there is one against Burnley.
Yeah, fair enough. Captaincy though, is everyone on Son? If let us know, is anyone not on Son? Because obviously Jordan, you're not on Son. You're on Tony at the moment.
Yeah, I'm on Tony at the moment. It's just, if I go for Son, then everyone else is going to do the same, and there's not really an issue. Well, no point really in terms of my rank because majority are going to captain Son this week. That's without obviously a reason for that because Son did really well in the last game week, and I want to get out this rank gap. I'm hovering between 60 and 80k, and I need something just to get me out of that margin. So I do need to do some things differently, and hence why I've gone with Tony captain, as I don't think many will go for that, even with his better fixture, arguably, that he has.
Yeah, fair enough. Fofana, obviously, the Burnley striker, that's on loan. Yeah, I think he's a decent pick. He's got Brentford at home, could do well. Obviously, he's been on a bit of a goal scoring run. Could be decent. Obviously, there's Awani as well. If you want to go for a Forest striker, if he starts, Awani's decent. Could do well against Luton.
Yeah, it's a weird thing about Awani because I looked at the predicted lineup for obviously the team, and I didn't see him either in the starting 11 or even on the bench. So I'm not sure with what's happened to Awani. If anyone can let us know on that issue.
Yeah, I think Awani, if he starts, I think he's a good option.
Yeah, he's a good option against Luton away. Even though Luton are pretty good, they do concede a lot of goals as well at the same time.
Got a comment here from Tejas, says the old Jordan.
Oh, hello, Tejas. Hope you're doing well.
Go against Luton as well is the comment. Yeah, you could go against Luton. I mean, I've got triple Luton looking at my team. I mean, I know Luton lost 4-3, but it was one of those crazy games, and I'm hoping it's another crazy game. Even if they lose, if they score a couple of goals, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't expect a clean sheet really. Then again, Luton are a lot better at home.
Yeah, there's so much excitement in Luton home fixtures. Like there's so many goals involved. So yeah, I do expect that to be end to end in that game. It's very thrilling watching Luton play, and not them giving up either when they're losing 2 or 3 goals down. They have, even though they lost to Bournemouth 4-3, but they still have fight in them.
Yeah, they do go right to the end. Luton, they don't really give up. Hamza says Haaland or Solanke to Tony. It depends on your strategy, on your longer term strategy, really. I mean, who's Solanke got next week? Got Everton in game week 30, then Palace, then Luton. So he's probably got the better fixtures, but I'd probably get Haaland because you'd want Haaland from 31 onwards. Haaland has Arsenal in game week 30, I should say. So me personally, I'm going to go without Haaland in game week 30 when he plays Arsenal. So, but I am wildcarding in 31, and I'm going to wildcard Haaland back in. So it depends on your chip strategy. It's hard to say, but you'd want Haaland over the long term, I think, because you look at Man City's fixtures. We should do the fixture. We should actually do the FDR actually. Let me bring this up. So let's have a look at the fixtures and how the season's going to sort of end. So Man City, when I take a look at the fixtures, yeah, Arsenal's tough. It is a home game though, Etihad. You still expect Man City, favourites in that one, but it's a tough game. So you don't expect a lot of goals. Villa at home again. Villa are one of the tougher teams Man City have left to play. After that is Palace, Luton. For those two games, you'd want Haaland. Even against Villa, you'd probably want Haaland. Tottenham, Forest. So their run-in is pretty kind. And then even you look at it in 36, you see the end of the season for Man City. Look at from game week 34 onwards. Man City played Tottenham, Forest, Wolves, Fulham, West Ham. They got a nice end to the season, sort of. So I'd want to have Haaland, definitely. Elikar, my team is Areola, Doughty, Zabani, Udogi, Robinson, Son, Bowen, Bailey, Solanke, Watkins, Morris. Have one free transfer. Looking to bring in Muniz. Yeah, Muniz in is fine. Obviously, Jordan, you've gone Muniz. How come you've gone Muniz and you think it's a good move as well? Obviously, someone who's bringing him in.
Yeah, not many people are going to look at Muniz as an option just because of the fixture against Spurs. I mean, automatically you think, no, Fulham aren't going to get anything from that game whatsoever. But because no one's going to go for him, you might as well take a punt as a differential. And Spurs do concede goals as well. And Muniz has looked good on form in recent game weeks too. So it's worth going for, especially on a free hit, just to have that bit difference in the forward lineup, because a lot of people aren't going to go for Muniz.
Yeah, I think Muniz is a decent shout. Grovey, Doughty injured. I hope not. I mean, that's the first time I've heard of it. I don't think he is. He should be fine.
Yeah,
I've not heard anything about Doughty being injured.
I mean, he did hobble off midway through the second half of the,
Did he? I didn't watch it. But I heard. Obviously that was a mad game, but Doughty ice pack on leg on Sky Sports. Is that? Hold on. He should be fine though. I've not seen anything ruling him out unless it's just.
Yeah, I think Robert just says he should be okay. He was just feeling something in his hamstring.
Yeah, maybe just a precaution.
But they will assess him and see.
FPL family tweet as all he says. I will check that out. Elliot says my favorite duo. Thanks, Elliot.
Thanks, Elliot.
Guys, I'm looking for differential defenders on a wild card. Are you wild carding this week?
Interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't personally wild card this week. I think you have to wait now. I think 28 was the time to do it early. 28 you could have got away with it, but 29 now it's hard to wild card now because the players you're going to want triple Man City on your wild card. You're going to want triple Arsenal, and you just can't get them in now because they have a blank. So it's very tough to if you're wild carding that week. I assume for next week when you all game week 31, 30, whatever you're looking at Chelsea defender, etc. They could be differentials. Hi brothers, long time. Yeah, long time, SJ. Hope you're well. Also, guys, let us know your plans. Are you on a free hit as well? Comment below. But yeah, I think that we should be fine, guys.
Yeah, again, it's less of a concern for free hitters. It's more of a concern for the non-free hitters with that.
Yeah, for me, like if I don't have anyone playing, then I've got no bench. So
yeah, that's the only issues with midweek games. Something can flare up in a player, and then you had that surprise lineup, and then you see them either benched or not in the squad. But hopefully, you don't get any surprises like that in this blank game week, especially.
Yeah, I've seen the picture of Doughty. He gave an interview with Sky Sports, and he had an ice pack strapped on his leg. So, but I think he will be fine. I think it's just, after a lot of players after the game, they used ice packs, and even some of them I've seen on crutches, just to, and then they play next game because they just want to elevate their leg, etc. But I'm not obviously medically qualified, I guess, to see. But I think he'll be fine. Not worried about Doughty. If he fails to deliver, everyone's affected. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people have him. A lot of people have him. Is there any other Luton defender you'd consider, like a Kabore or someone like that?
Not really, no, because I don't really expect a clean sheet, and Doughty's the only one that really gives attacking threat for Luton in defence.
Yeah.
So that's probably ruled out completely. If Doughty's not an option, I wouldn't go for another Luton player in defence.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, guys, it's not a. Actually, SJ's got a comment here. I activated my free hit. Flecken, Roselev, Doughty, Porro, Son, Kudus, Bowen, Watkins, Tony Morris. Yeah, that looks like a nice free hit. That looks like a decent free hit. I would probably have something similar. He's gone Roselev instead of Reguilon.
Yeah, with Reguilon, he's a doubt, but
rumors are he starts.
Yeah,
some team leaks and stuff. Apparently he's going to start. So
yeah, I saw in the predicted lineup he should start. I mean, he does play on Sunday, so we won't know until then.
Yeah. Grovey says Toffolo is going to haul. Obviously, the Forest Toffolo. Yeah, never know. Obviously, you've got Alanga as well, haven't you? Alanga could be a decent shout.
Yeah, actually, surprised. I haven't seen many people go for Alanga, and I feel like he's one of those differentials that could really pay off this week against Luton.
Elika also says Kabore did look dangerous against Bournemouth. Yeah, I heard he looked okay. That's why I mentioned him. I didn't watch the game, but I did hear that he was going. He has a few, he had a few chances created, basically. 1GK3, Gibbs White or Douglas Luiz. Who are you going, Jordan, out of these two?
I'll probably go with Gibbs White.
Gibbs White.
Yes. I just favour him over the fixture that Gibbs White has over Douglas Luiz, even though Luiz is on penalties. That West Ham game, again, I just feel like it's going to be tough for him to get anything out of. So I'd probably take a punt on Gibbs White and see if he can get maybe an assist from that game. I expect it to be high scoring, the Luton and not a Forest one over West Ham and Aston Villa. So yeah, I'll put my faith in Gibbs White.
Yeah, I've got Douglas Luiz in my team as a non-free hitter. I do like Douglas Luiz. I like that he's a bit of a differential because no free hitter is going for him, which I like because obviously better for me potentially. He's on penalties, but I think Gibbs White, the fixture is better. So yeah, it's a tough one, but it depends if you're free hitting. I probably would go Gibbs White if I was on a free hit, but I'm glad that Luiz is pretty much ignored by everyone that's on a free hit. Thoughts on Bailey against Cresswell? I like Bailey for Aston Villa. I think he's definitely going to start as well. So I do think he's a nice differential if you want to go for an Aston Villa midfielder that's not Douglas Luiz. I think Bailey over Douglas Luiz is actually a better pick in terms of the Villa midfield. Hamza also says, is Trent back anytime soon? So the current update on Trent is, obviously we know Liverpool are playing Man United tomorrow. Trent's going to miss that. Then we've got an international break. And then Trent could be back for Brighton, I believe. But it's not 100%. I think he's like 50-50 for he could make it for Brighton. If not, then the week after that 100% he'll be back. But Brighton is what they're targeting. So yeah, he should be back for. I personally think Trent's gonna miss Brighton, personally. And then he'll play in game week 31. So yeah. Still a while out. But there's some positive news on Liverpool's injury front. It looks like Jota could be back around game week 31 as well. And we know Jota, what he was doing before he got injured. And he's going to become an interesting option as well, I think, later down the line. If he can prove his fitness. We know Liverpool got a couple of other players coming back as well. We know Alisson seems out for a bit longer. But Trent, Jota, someone else I'm missing. Yeah, we ain't going to get any leaks, are we? No early kickoffs.
No leaks. So it's a roll of the dice. What happens with the team lineups? We hope for the best, but we're prepared for the worst.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Carl says, "Good luck this week. I always watch your content." Thank you, Carl. That means
Thanks,
a lot to
Carl.
us. Appreciate it. Also,
Thank
guys,
you.
make sure you do smash the like button. It really just helps the channel out a lot. So all your likes are appreciated. So you're definitely locked to this. Watkins, you're saying you're 50-50 on Watkins, you're saying.
Yeah, just coming back on the subject of him, I actually have taken him out.
No way.
Let me just refresh the page and I'll show you guys what I've done. So, surprise, Wood is now the new forward. Watkins is now out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now, I am contemplating Bowen, but I think I'm gonna keep him in.
Okay. Watkins out. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's not because he's flagged or anything. It's just
Yeah.
because I don't think there's much deliverance from him in that game against West Ham. That's my thinking on that.
Okay. Well, let us know what you guys think of that. Hamza says deadline's at 1:30. Thought it was 1. Yeah, deadline is a 1:30, later deadline than usual. Well, so normally it's an early stream we do on a Saturday. We go at 10, don't we normally? But
yeah.
But
I quite like these afternoon ones. They're quite refreshing, I think, because you haven't got that early kickoff, which sometimes is screwed in terms of results. But yeah, it's nice to have afternoon kickoffs on the Saturday.
I've taken a -4 to field 8. Should I take another hit to do Bradley to Reguilon? To get -4 to get 9 players. What are your 9 players? What are your 8 players, if you don't mind me asking, Hamza? Drop it in the comments because it depends. You might be in free hit territory. You've not got like the likes of Son, Madison, Watkins, Tony, potentially Doughty, etc. Who are your 8? So you could take a -4 to get 9. I mean, I don't hate it, depending on what the player is. You watching the game today, though? You're gonna watch the City one or Newcastle?
Probably watch the City one. I don't know if De Bruyne is starting that game or not because he was flagged for a groin injury.
I think he's not going to start De Bruyne.
So,
I think I think he's going to bench him, or he might miss out in total because I think I saw Pep saying he's not going to play in the international break.
Yeah, so again, that's a huge miss for Man City because you know how different they play without Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, we'll be interested how they do without him. It should be fine, but it could be not as good as performance as you normally see from them.
Ali Max says no love for Morris. I've got Morris in mind. Jordan's not got Morris, but I do own Morris.
Yeah, I mean, I could go for Morris, but I guess not so much excitement going with a player that everyone has, either on a free hit or on the non-free hit. So
I've not seen him much, on free hits.
No,
I've actually not. I mean, his ownership 19% was quite high, but a lot of free hitters don't actually have Morris for some reason. I've seen Watkins, Tony. I've seen Muniz quite a bit. And maybe there's managers with Morris, but I mean, I think the double blank that he's had, obviously not scoring in Game Week 29. Sorry, Game Week 28. I maybe put people off.
Yeah, that's why I'm a bit surprised that Tony's ownership has gone up to over 20%. It was on 10 prior to.
Oh yeah, but he's one of the main strikers that actually has a game though. So you're just defaulted to get in Tony basically now because there's no one else.
Yeah.
Really, I mean Wissa.
Yeah, there's Wissa, maybe Mope, even more different, but yeah, Tony is the one. Needs a penalty taker for Brentford.
The -8 are Doughty, Konza, Douglas, Louise, I think, Son, Bowen, Watkins, Tony. Oh, the 8 are Doughty, Konza, Douglas, Louise, Son, Bowen, Watkins, Tony. Yeah, that's a fine 8. Yeah, to get to 9, and if you can get in another player, then yeah, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, I'd probably bring in Maddison alongside Son if it was the ninth player for that -8, or maybe a Morris, like we just mentioned.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think as long as you got like 9 of the decent players, the main guys, then I think you should be fine. Is it risky to not for Son captain? Thinking about captaining Bailey. Well, Jordan's a non-Son captainer. I don't think it's risky. We know Son,
No.
he did score, I believe, last game. We know Spurs have just come off the back scoring against Villa. Was it 4-0? I think it was.
Yeah, yes, I don't think it's risky at all. I mean, it's not like we're all going to captain Son. I think there's going to be just some variations in captaincies, especially for those who have activated their free hit chip. Like for me, for example, I don't want to go with the same captaincy that everyone else is mostly going for. So I will want to make it more interesting, especially on the chip, because there's only one time I can use it. So I'm going to make the benefit of it by choosing a captain that no one else is really going to go for this week.
Yeah, fair enough. Obviously, we expect Son to be probably the highest captain this week. I think that's fair to say. He's like the only premium that actually has a fixture. Because he's probably there's no big premium. Salah, obviously, Haaland, etc. They don't have any games, so Son's going to be the one people are drawn to. Tony, again, the one you're on, he's got Burnley away. He's a good fixture for him on paper. You'd argue he might be a better fixture than Son's one. But Bailey captaincy, I've not really thought about Bailey. That's really out the box. You could go there. Obviously, we know West Ham haven't been great, really. I know they won in Europe midweek, but they've not been that good either. And Aston Villa are coming off the loss, obviously losing to Spurs in a big loss. Aston Villa will be looking to bounce back. They're going for top 4. And I expect Bailey to start as well. So,
yeah, saying that on Aston Villa's part, McGinn is suspended
yeah,
for that game. So he is a huge miss for that midfield. He's basically like having, let's say, Declan Rice, for example, for Arsenal. That's like missing a massive key player in that team. And I don't know how Aston Villa will cope with that in that midfield.
Yeah, that's another one. Obviously, we know he got a red card against Spurs, so he's going to miss that game. They will have another player coming in. Maybe it makes Douglas Luiz a worse option for this week, because that means Douglas Luiz will sit a bit deeper. Maybe not as attacking because McGinn's not playing, so we'll have to one to watch. But yeah, I personally wouldn't captain Bailey, but I think Bailey is still a decent pick for this week. I can still see him scoring against West Ham. But if you want to go different, I mean, that is different for sure. We've got a comment here: Morris, Elanga, or Bailey, or even Morgan Gibbs White. Or should I take Bailey out for Morgan Gibbs White? Who would you prefer out of these two, Morgan Gibbs White or Bailey?
Probably Morgan Gibbs White. Same reason, it's nice fixture, and I feel like Morgan Gibbs White will get more out of that game than Bailey will against West Ham.
Morris, Elanga, or Bailey? I mean, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I've already got Elanga, so I'll probably pick him as those out of those 3.
Yeah, I like Elanga as a differential. Obviously, we know he's low owned. He's got a decent fixture as well. So yeah, Elanga's decent this week. Is captaining Watkins too risky, says James. I don't think it's that risky, because you look at Watkins' record, the amount of goals and assists he has. I think he's number 1 in the league in terms of goals and assists. He's overtook Salah. So he's actually got the most goal involvement of any player in the league. So he's been very consistent throughout the season. The only risk is obviously, is he going to start? We think he will start. But I don't think it's risky captaining Watkins. He can easily go and score a hat-trick against West Ham, and I would not be surprised. So he's one of those players. Obviously, if you have the feeling that he's going to do well, that is. Obviously, they've just had a bad loss to Spurs, but we know how good and consistent Watkins has been this season. Like, he's been excellent. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does score, even a couple. So, yeah, I think he's a good captaincy, but I just prefer Son personally. But I think they're both fine. Should be fine if I vice captain Son. Yeah, if you want to go Watkins, I don't think Watkins is a bad pick as a captain. It's just that flag that's maybe putting people off. But yeah, we do expect Watkins to start. Vice captain Son as well. Yeah, that looks fine as well because Son will
Yeah,
play. We know he's going to be fit. Obviously, Richarlison is still not back, is he? Richarlison would have been a popular pick, I think, on a wild card or a free hit.
yeah,
Or
it's a
sorry,
shame.
non-free hit either.
Yeah, it would be a nice addition, Richarlison. I think last time Richarlison had a fixture, not really many people went for him when he was really their own. So it would have been interesting how many people brought him in for this blank game week.
Yeah, Richarlison definitely. I would have had Richarlison in my team if he was fit. I would have had probably Son and Richarlison. Makes him a slightly differential captain then because people are being put off by the flag, so I'll probably avoid him. Yeah, look, if the flag puts you off, then it is what it is. I think it's a good option, but maybe not captain worthy. Obviously Tony, if you want to go different, obviously Jordan's on Tony. Tony's got a good fixture himself. He's on pens as well. So there are other ways you can go. If you want to go for Spurs, obviously Son's going to be the standout pick. I wouldn't be captaining a Luton player, I don't think, or even a Forest player myself. Chief with a comment of Captain Tony on a free hit over the others too. So it's gone same as you.
So yeah, good luck, Chief. Hopefully it works out for us both. I mean, Tony's had a few blanks in his last game weeks. I think. Let me just check when his last return was. I mean, yeah, he's blank since game week 25 when he scored that goal in that double game week in 25 actually. So since then he hasn't had any returns. And like I mentioned before, Tony is a hot and cold player, so he does have a moment of quiet period, and then suddenly he just outbursts in a random fixture, and that Burnley away one could be the one where he potentially gets a double haul.
Yep. I preferred Muniz over Tony for budget reasons. Budget reasons. I mean, if you're on a free hit, you shouldn't have any issues in terms of budget because Haaland, Salah, etc. You've taken them out of your team, so I'm surprised you've got a budget issue on this. If you are on a free hit, that is. Which I assume you're not.
Yeah, I think probably not because I've got 15 money in the bank from a free hit. So yeah, there shouldn't be any issues for money.
Even with me, I've got 17 million in the bank though. Like, unless you've got Haaland, you've got Salah still. I mean, should be able to afford most players. But yeah, my team value is quite good though, so I don't know what everyone else's team value is.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Your team value has now hit 6.3, 106.3, I think.
Yeah.
The last time I checked it, that's quite good.
Yeah, let me check my team value. Is that I'm not actually paid much attention to it. My squad value is 89.6. And I've got 16.5 in the bank. So yes, it's decent basically.
Yeah, it's very good when you will wildcard, I think, with that team value because you can afford that extra money for Bobby players we wouldn't be able to fit in for low team value.
Yeah. So yeah, my team value is about 106 million. Oh, I think 106.1. So yeah, when I wildcard, I shouldn't have any issues with the budget. So yep. What's your plans next week though? Let's do a little planning. Because our teams are locked.
I think I will check the community thing and sign into that to see what needs to be done.
Okay, cool. I mean, you're probably gonna have to free hit that week. Probably got a bunch of. You do that, and I'll bring up FPL.team, and I'll just quickly show you guys my plans on there. I mean, I'm more interested in seeing your plans though, because obviously you're not. You've got what's your plans again? What you're for next week? You're just.
The plan is to bring Salah back in. That's where we probably feel -4.
Okay.
That's the And the plan to captain Salah that week as well.
Oh, you're taking a -4 next week?
Yeah, because I have one free transfer and I can't really do
What's your team? What's your overall team look like though for game week 30?
I'd have to look at FPL team to see that.
We'll do that next. I meant that the flag on Watkins makes me want to captain him more because other people will avoid it to give me an edge. Yeah, I understand it, James. I think, as I said, Watkins, I think is a good pick. I still think he's a decent captaincy pick. If he starts, if he gets a goal, which isn't out the realms of him scoring because he's been consistent this season.
Okay, so
that's your team currently. Is that game week?
That's game week 30.
So you're gonna have 2 free transfers.
It hasn't taken into consideration I've used my free hit yet.
Oh, if you go back to 29, you can actually play your free hit chip. If you just write free hit at the bottom, you click that button, and then you just go to next week, and then that should take into consideration basically. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I'll have 1 free transfer for putting him in the bank, and unless I can take out Foden.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what you do.
Won't be enough. Bowen. No, it won't be enough. Yeah, I would have to take a -4.
How much is Salah?
Salah's 13 million.
Oof. Okay, so your only route to Salah is Son or Saka. I mean, you've benched Saka. Are you going to bench Saka against City? I assume you're not, or
no, I'll probably bench
Morris as well.
Yeah,
you've got Morris there.
And play Pedro.
Yeah, you got double.
Wait a second, this isn't my team.
Oh yeah, this isn't your team. You probably typed in the wrong code. I'll let you. I'll let you get the right code up.
That's weird.
My plans for the future are Gusto for 30, so my defense has decent fixtures. Roll 31, Haaland 32, Salah growth 33. Do you think 32 and 33 is too late to bring them back? I mean, I want Salah for 30 personally. So, I mean, Salah's got Brighton at home. So I would want him for that fixture. And then it depends on your wild card. I take it you don't have a wild card left. I don't think 32 is bad, or 33. You could get away with it. Hopefully it doesn't punish you too much. Is Saka and Solanke out for Elanga and Tony worth a -4? Yes, I think it is. Okay. To answer your question, Harry. You got your team up, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that explains why the free hit wasn't active. But yeah, this is my actual team now. Apologies. Okay, cool. So this is what game week 29 would look like if I obviously was not free hitting.
And then,
well, actually, let me just press the free hit button because it doesn't recognize that. And yeah, this is what my game week 30 team would look like. So I would have 4.6 million in the bank. Now, can I see if I can afford Salah? No, I still can't with Foden out.
You got to take Saka out probably, or someone like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Saka's the only affordable one, but I'd probably take a -4 to get Salah back, and I'll take out one of the forwards. I'll probably take out Solanke and downgrade him to a cheaper forward. Let's just pick a random one for now because I haven't given him much thought yet. I'll go for Wood, for example, and then take out Foden and bring Salah in for him. And that'll be for the -4. And then captain Salah for that week because Haaland has Arsenal. So that would be my plans for game week 30.
Yeah, I've taken Haaland out, so obviously I'm not going to have him or any Arsenal player, I don't think, apart from Gabriel I might have, I believe. But yeah, Salah also my plan as well for 30. Obviously, he's now back from injury. Okay, so you got a couple of players playing against each other. Obviously, you got Arsenal, double Arsenal. You got the Man City asset in there. But I think, the setup looks okay, depending on obviously what striker you go for.
Yeah, it does depend on the striker as well. I mean, maybe.
I'll show you what my plans are. Okay, so Solanke is out of my team already. Hold on, let me just share my screen. Can you guys see that? Hold on. This is my team this week. My bad. Hold on. This is the team. Obviously, just ignore that. Porro is going to play, obviously, for Gabriel. Louise is playing. Palmer bench. Taylor for Zabani. This is strange. Yeah, it's not taken into my Madison as well.
No, it's weird.
Not taken into my transfers yet. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I've taken -4 this week. That's the team. Next week, I'll play Palmer for Morris. I will take out Barkley for Mo Salah. And then that will be the team. Watkins, I'll captain Salah. I'll have Tony and Watkins up front. Palmer, Madison, Son, Louise, and Salah. Porro, Doughty, Taylor. Actually, I wouldn't play Taylor. I would probably play Gabriel against City. And yeah, set up is pretty well. And in 31, I will be wildcarding this week. I'll bring the Man City guys back in. I'll bring the Arsenal midfield back in, like Saka, for example. So that's the plan.
Okay. Hopefully, nothing changes those plans. Like we've seen with the in between matches for different competitions, but we'll have to wait and see for that.
So a few comments coming in. Jordan, are you going to consider a defender transfer as you still have Bell and Ake?
Probably not, because I don't want to take a -8 to bring another defender in.
Mm-hmm. Roman says, sorry, you were saying?
So I'll just say I'll just probably play with the defenders I have available for that game week.
Okay. Hi lads, I just got home. I haven't seen if there's any news captaincy. I'm actually going to Tony captain. I'm not sure how different that is, but it's the way I'm leading at the moment. Well, yeah, Jordan's on Tony. We had a few people in the chat on Tony, so it could pay off.
It'll probably be second most popular pick, captaincy.
Yeah, I think the flag on Watkins might scare people as well. So Watkins, I mean, you might get more people captaining Tony because of that as well. But yeah, I think, well, there's like 7 minutes to go now, guys, till the deadline. So get your last minute teams locked in. Yeah. Okay, cool. What about the thing draft, the community draft? Have you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna log into that now before deadline finishes.
Yeah, guys, you got 6 minutes.
It's gone pretty quick, actually.
Yeah. Hopefully, Elanga starts since I've done the transfer. Yeah, Elanga should start. I think you'll be fine.
I don't see why you shouldn't.
All right. So, what's the team look like, Jordan?
I'm having trouble. So every time I sign out of my actual account, it never lets me back into another account. It always rejects it. I never understand why it does that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll let you sort it out.
I'll just keep trying. I keep just spamming it.
Let's read a few Let's read a few comments.
Yeah.
A bit weird that Man City v Newcastle is on the same time as the Spurs game. I didn't realize that. Yes,
Like that before, though.
Spurs is 5:30. And then obviously you've got the FA Cup games. Man City, Newcastle. Yeah, I guess because it's FA Cup, they don't really take into account the clashes and stuff. But yeah, it's a bit weird for TV. Carl Pedersen, Slanky to Tony and Kirkers. Slanky to Tony and Kirkers to Doughty for a -4. Yeah, I think that looks good. I've done Tony in as well for a -4, so hopefully he can pay that off. Is everyone on a free hit then, guys? Let us know in the chat how many of you are on a free hit. I think a free hit's very popular this week, obviously because of the 4 fixtures. And also, guys, don't forget to like the stream if you are enjoying the content so far. Hit that like button and also make sure you are subscribed to our channel as well. We're approaching, we want to get to 1.2k subs next. Yeah, I don't think it's going to let you sign in, Jordan.
It's not. Literally. I don't know what it is with that website, but it's so weird when it does that.
Yep. All right, cool. We're
But
locked in.
we're both
Any
locked
other
in
changes for you? Because you made a couple changes.
No, there's no more changes to the team. Let me just go back on my team.
Yeah, it was only
and show you.
You got 3 minutes, guys.
So yeah, that's the team as it is now. I think I am pretty locked in. I think I'm keeping Bowen in for that game, and the only change I made was taking Watkins out for Wood in terms of this stream. So everyone else has stayed the same, and yeah, I'm pretty locked in.
Fair enough. Yeah, still 3 minutes left. Let's go back to my team to show you guys. Or any other defenders in mind. I think Doubt is the one. If you want to go for a Luton defender. Obviously, I've got Porro in there as well. I think Porro's a good pick. Udoggy as well is a decent shout if you want to go different. But I think Porro's a better option.
Yeah, I've got the video film it for Udoggy. Again, just difference.
Yeah. Also, there is a bit of fixture news. If Coventry beat Wolves today, then Arsenal and Wolves will likely double in Game Week 34. And Bournemouth's chances of doubling in 34 will also increase a bit. And Coventry are actually winning 1-0 currently against Wolves.
That's pretty big for Coventry result. I mean, they don't have Neto, do they? I think he got injured again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've not seen the lineup. I mean, Game Week 34 is interesting for me. Obviously, I'm going to free hit in Game Week 34 in that double.
Yeah, so that'd be a lot of double Game Week players potentially in that week for you. In that wildcard could pay off massively.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. There should be a decent double, like a big double, so it should be easy to get to a decent amount of doublers anyway, even people that don't have a free hit. But we'll see if it pays off. Really, only way I'll know if that pays off is by the end of Game Week 34. My decision not to free hit this week. But so far, it's paid off. Last week, I had a massive green arrow, bringing in all the Luton players. But yeah, this week is the final week. If I can get another green arrow or even a grey arrow, then I'll take it. But yeah, a minute left. You've got about 10 seconds left, actually.
Any late decisions? Make it now.
Yeah, and there you go, guys. That is it. Bang. 1:30. We've got Roman, not for me. Just have 10 playing this week. Just praying I don't fall too far behind. Yeah, same. So I'm not on a free hit, so I'm hoping I can keep up with the free hitters. Wolves team is decent, but the strike force is quite bad. Yeah, I mean, It's not looking good for Wolves. They could be out. But yeah, we'll discuss that all. We'll discuss it in more in depth in terms of the Blank Game Week tomorrow. So join us tomorrow, guys. Only the 4 fixtures. So we'll see how it goes. But obviously, there's the FA Cup football on the weekend as well. So definitely be enjoying watching some of those games. And yeah, that's it from us. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the comments and everything. It's been a good chat. I think that's it. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan?
And that's just about it. It's been a quiet, obviously, deadline stream because there's not really been much to talk about as there's not been that many fixtures. But hopefully you have a nice weekend. Enjoy the a lot of football that's happening through the weekend too. And take care, and we'll see how well we've all done tomorrow and then in the knee-jerk reaction.
Yep, brilliant. Take care, guys, and see you tomorrow.